Check, check. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here for our first 5th grade live orchestra concert. And hello to everyone watching from home or from work. We are so excited to perform for you. You're going to be amazed what these students have done in just 8 rehearsals, actually 7 rehearsals, and today is number 8. They've done some really great work. They got lots of opportunities. They worked in some small orchestras to get to know some other students that they're going to be going to school with in a few short weeks. They got to do something called Sectionals, where they worked with our high school leadership, and they got some one-on-one work with just violins, just cellos, violas, and basses. And then we got to rehearse on our beautiful stage, which this is officially going to be their school, and they will be middle schoolers in 3 weeks here. So welcome to Strongsville Middle School. We're so glad you're here. And my name is Tanya Rogers. I do teach 6th grade orchestra, so I'm very excited to teach these students here next year. We are going to perform our first piece for you. It's a song called Knick Knock. And in this song, you're going to see a lot of different things. The students were multitasking, they're going to be bowing. They learned how to pizzicato while holding their bow this week. You're going to see some body percussion, stomping, snapping, tapping. So really, really working on multitasking. And then there's a section where we see kind of the violins versus the viola, cello, basses. And you're going to see, maybe you guys can decide who has more energy and who has more orchestra spirit. And we hope you enjoy our first song, Knick Knock. As I'm sure you saw, the students had a really great time dressing up. We really enjoyed, especially the section costume contest yesterday. We had some pirates, pajamas, sports, tourists. We had Harry Potter at the petting zoo. It was a lot of fun. So we had a lot of fun spirit days these past couple weeks. And it's just an awesome group that has a lot of team spirit. So it's been a lot of fun. Our next piece we'll be playing for you is called Miniature Symphony. And we're going to be playing the first movement, and it's called Modest March.
morning, everyone. I thought I would introduce myself to you because I'm probably a new face for many of you. My name is Kim Taylor, and I teach 7th and 8th grade orchestra here at the middle school. And what's great about working with the summer orchestra is it's fun to see some of our high school students who I taught years ago and who Mr. Heyer and Mrs. Rogers have taught when they were in 5th grade, and now they come back and share all of what they've learned and their experience and help the younger students. And it's just great to have that full circle moment. It's nice to see younger brothers and sisters that are in the group that I'll have in a couple more years. So it's been great working with these kids, and it's amazing of what they've accomplished in just like 8 rehearsals. So we've had a real good time of learning and fun, and the next piece we're going to do for you is Simple Squares.
All right, good morning, parents. Thank you for being here this morning for our finale concert with our summer orchestra camp. We've had a lot of fun. These kids are fantastic musicians. I've enjoyed working with them. If you don't know who I am Andy Heyer, and I teach at Whitney and Moraski Elementary School, where I do 5th grade orchestra, and I'm also the high school orchestra director. So eventually all these students, when they get to the high school, will have me as their high school director. Before we get started with our final piece, we have some acknowledgements. We've had some wonderful high school student volunteers who've come in and worked with our students, running sectionals, playing along with them, helping us to get instruments tuned. If an instrument goes down and needs a quick repair, they run over and help out. And student leadership is such an important part of the culture of our orchestra program here in Strongsville, and it's kind of the secret to our success, if you will. So I'm going to acknowledge some high school students. Some of them were not able to be here this morning because of their work schedules. I'll still acknowledge them. I'm going to have them stand. So we have helping with violin for the past couple weeks. We have Lauren Dunlop, Zach Rhinus, he's not here this morning, Naisha Tarek, Laura Fogwell, Avanish Palakanda. In the viola section, Amanda Schaefer, Lily Vassell, who's not here this morning, Sophia Ruff, Lucy Maseka. And over in the bass section, we've had a couple of wonderful 8th grade bass volunteers, Luke Soniker, who's playing along with us this morning, and Andrew Kunzelman. So please give our high school students a big applause. And then we've had a very special assistant who's been in the past couple of weeks, a student who is a class of 2020 Strongsville High School Orchestra alumni. She is at BGSU, my alma mater, studying music education, where she eventually, when she's finished, will do what we all do. She will be an orchestra teacher in a school, and that is Clarissa Yankee. Such a valuable experience for her as a future educator to get to see and work with students one-on-one in her hometown. So our final selection is a really awesome, fun piece called Dragon Slayer. Some of the students thought we might bring in a live dragon to add to the effect, but that just wasn't possible. So I think you're going to enjoy our final piece, Dragon Slayer. Thanks again for being here and sharing your child with us for the past 2 weeks. Again, we've had a great time, and that concludes our 2021 Summer Orchestra. All right, good morning, parents. Thank you for being here on our finale concert from our awesome summer orchestra camp we just had the past 2 weeks. We've had a great time working with your student musician. We've learned a lot, and they are just amazing musicians. And we're going to get started with our performance today. I'm going to introduce our concert master. She's going to stand up, she's going to be acknowledged, and she is going to tune our orchestra. So we have Mariana as our concert master. Please give her a hand. All right, if you're not sure who I am, I'm Andy Heyer. I teach 5th grade orchestra at Whitney and Moraski, and I also direct all the Strongsville High School orchestras. So at some point in the future, these students will be mine at Strongsville High School when they become high school students. We're going to start with a really fun, awesome piece, and we're going to feature our wonderful bass section. We're going to feature Aiden and Ava and Luke on a piece you heard us play back in 5th grade on the May concert, but this is a full bass feature. So you're going to hear the can-can accompanied by the orchestra with our bass section being featured.
Hello, in case you don't know who I am, my name is Kim Taylor and I teach 7th and 8th grade orchestra here. And it's been just amazing working with these students. Only 8 rehearsals and we're putting on this great concert for you. I know for some of our kids, actually I think even the 7th graders, this is your first concert here in the auditorium. Last year we did have a couple concerts up at the high school, so we're finally on our home turf, which is a nice place to be. We're glad that you're here, and we're going to play a next little number, Summer Stomp, for the season, and it's a good little, got some little jazzy notes in there, and a little good toe tapper. It's a good little toe tapper, so here's Summer Stomp.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tanya Rogers, and I've had the pleasure of teaching these students here. It's amazing to see what they've been able to accomplish in only 7 days. It's just really such a great group of musicians. They've done some amazing work. And our next piece we'll be performing for you is kind of a mystical sounding piece, and it's called Star Dancer. Before we perform our next piece, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the past 7 days. The students have had a lot of different opportunities. We worked in some half groups and small orchestras, so some of our 6th and 7th graders got to know each other a little bit more. We did something called Sectionals, where just the violins would work with our high school leadership team and get some individual work together, and then we had our big rehearsals on the stage. So the students had a variety of experiences and opportunities the past 7 days to improve their skills and get better and better each day. Another opportunity for the students that will be coming available in the fall that I'm sure many of the students will be interested in is an honors group called Chamber Strings. We've had chamber strings here at Strongsville Middle School. In the past, we weren't able to have it last year, but this year it will be returning. It's an audition group, and now all of these students are eligible to audition for honors orchestra, chamber strings, excuse me. And it's only open to 7th and 8th graders. We typically rehearse twice a week, once before school, once after school, and it's a special orchestra that performs at special events. We typically go to Cedar Point, Music in the Parks competition. We played for the Veterans Day Assembly. We played for Board of Education meetings. But it's a special honors group for students that are looking for more challenging music and being a part of that group that meets together about twice a week. So you'll be hearing more information from me about chamber strings and when auditions will be. And we'll get that started pretty quickly at the beginning of the school year, and students can audition for that. So our next piece we'll be performing is a longer, more complicated piece, but we really worked on our bow change styles, and each section gets solos, and this piece is called Classic Symphonia.
All right, so now for something completely different. So what a great job, that sounded so awesome. So you may have seen some of our high school helpers have just left their violin viola sections, and I asked them to play Tabano African drums for this next piece. So it's a real treat because, you know, string players, they don't often get to play percussion or something else. So they're like, oh yeah, I want a drum. Let's do that, that sounds cool. So those rhythms will be echoed in our string parts, and this is a really cool song called Tribal Dance. Hope you enjoy it.
All right. We have a few people we need to thank who have contributed greatly over the past 2 weeks. One of the real important cultural elements of our orchestra program here in Strongsville is student leadership. And we are very fortunate. We have amazing student leaders at the high school who are able to assist whenever, wherever possible. So we've had several student musicians from the high school come in, work with our students here at the camp. They've run sectionals, they've played along with the group, they've assisted if an instrument went down and a string needed replaced, they would go take care of it for us. I'd like to acknowledge these students, and we're going to start with our violin players who came and helped out. We have Lauren Dunlop, Zach Reines, Naisha Tarek, Laura Fogwell, Avanish Palakanda, and with the viola section we have Amanda Schaefer and Lily Vassell, and helping with cellos, Sophia Ruff and Lucy Maseka. And then we had some of our outstanding 8th grade musicians with this group who also helped with our 5th grade. We had Luke Soniker and Andrew Kunselman on bass helping out. And let's give those players and these students a big round of applause. And we had a very special assistant helping us out the past 2 weeks, a class of 2020 alumni, Strongsville High School Orchestra program. She is just completed her first year at BGSU, my alma mater, studying music education. Her goal is to become an orchestra teacher just like us. And I'd like to give Clarissa Yankee a warm I'm so gracious that she's helped out. She's done a lot. She's been out helping our high schoolers too after school was out for her. So stand, Clarissa, give her a big foot, everybody. Who knows, someday she might be on this very stage directing. That'd be awesome, right? Before we play our final piece, I'd like to thank Mr. Ruff back there on drum set, who's going to help us out on this really fun, groovy tune that you're going to hear called Ludwig and Sparkler. Oh, forgot. Also want to thank one of the sponsors for the past 2 weeks. All of our shirts on the back say Royalty Music Center. They are one of our partners. They help our program out tremendously. We want to thank all the folks at Royalty Music Center who had shirts made for us at no cost to us. So shout out to Royalty Music Center. And of course, the Strongsville Instrumental Music Boosters, the support organization that helps us out. They provided popsicles last week on one of the days. So thank you for both of those entities. And thank you for all your support with your student musician. It's been a blast. And that concludes our 2021 Summer Orchestra Camp. And thank you very much for being here.